All right, good afternoon, MyGolfSpy members. We are here for the final review of the LAB OZ.1. So those of you that have been following the forum know that several of us have been testing these since early May. And I actually have a fellow forum member here with me, Mr. Tim Zabinski, goes by Z-Man, and he's gonna help us do our final review. So we wanna share a little bit of a story. But first I'm gonna start with, part of the requirement is making a determination as to whether or not this should stay in the bag. So when you read the final review, you'll see some stats around what the putting change has been for me, what some of my rounds have been, maybe even some of the bombs that I have dropped as part of this evaluation. It has been a great time testing this putter, and I'm really excited. But what I want to start with is, to Z's left over here and my left, you'll see a collection of putters that I have played over the last 4 years. So this would be putter number 5 in 4 seasons. So from left to right, we have a Seymour FGP, a Seymour Mini Giant, a Bettinardi Novi 6, and a Biomech. Now, Tim, I'd like you to tell me, what do you personally think about that Biomech?
So first of all, I gotta give you a little background on Jansen. I've played an awful lot of golf with Jansen, with him, against him, and he was that kind of putter that when you saw him come out with this, you were hoping he was on the other team. And then you immediately told your partner, do not give him a putt. Do not give him a putt. Because he's not only going to miss a 3-footer, he's going to 3-putt.
That's right.
And if he was on your team, you would line him up to tell him it was a 75-foot putt, no, 75-inch putt, even though you was playing like 150. You would tell him it was a 3-foot break, even though you knew it was straight in, because you never knew where this was going. So,
So you're saying I was a terrible putter?
You may have been the worst putter out here for a long time. And a lot of it was not only lack of good equipment, but lack of confidence with the equipment you had.
Yeah. So what have you seen as I've been testing this lab? You've been my partner in several events.
Mm-hmm.
You've played with me, and you have played against me in some of our local games. So what have you seen happen as I've been putting with this OZ.1?
So the transformation from, when you're a bad putter, you have no confidence. Matter of fact, you're walking up the putt, think you're going to miss it right away, to a guy who thinks he's going to make everything. Matter of fact, it's almost drive you crazy. You think he's going to make it. And there was some long bombs. I mean, the only reason I agreed to do this, because I didn't believe the first 2 he did, but the next 5, I said, I think he solved it. In fact, it's even got me looking at the putter, because
that's awesome.
It can't possibly be all him.
Right.
I mean, so it's a great transformation. It's actually a wonderful transformation. I'm kind of proud that you made it, because a basket case would be a compliment for you for a while, and now you're a really good putter.
Well, for those that have been following the forum, you saw one of the comments I made around my playing partners saying, if I do not keep this in the bag, they would stab me with it. Yeah. And that was Tim. So I want to confirm, Tim, what's the verdict? Do you believe I should keep the OZ.1 in the bag long term?
Well, my only concern is a guy that buys this junk may make a bad decision. So I still will stab you if you go back to one of these other ones, because that would be the biggest mistake you ever made.
Yeah, I think so too.
You have a favorite, stick with it, and I just can't imagine what you're going to be like at the end of the season.
Yeah, I can't either. It has been fantastic. I will wrap up by saying thank you to MyGolfSpy and to LAB for sponsoring this test. It has not only been a great experience, it has really changed the way I have played golf this year. And as you've heard from Tim, it has changed the way others see me, at least as a putter on the course, which I will tell you, even my other friends outside of here always made fun of me for how poorly I putted. So for those of you who want to know if the technology is real and it will make a difference, I can tell you that it absolutely will, and the OZ.1 will be staying in my bag.